When it comes to Luka Doncic in this year's postseason, he's been nothing short of spectacular. As in the very tough, very competitive, and deep Western Conference, he's taken a 5th seed Dallas team and brought them to the NBA Finals at only 25 years old.
That boy is good.
What we've seen Luka do in this year's postseason, it's rare for any player in league history. But for a guy who's barely 25 years old to be doing this, it's virtually unheard of. Now, despite the team's success, their brilliant numbers, the multitude of clutch shots, there's one guy who thinks Luka's play in the finals has hurt his stock among NBA fans. And this guy, of course, is Kendrick Perkins.
Has Luka hurt his stock in these finals?
Hell yeah, he has. And look, Molly, before the finals started, all we was hearing, right, was Luka the best player in the league. He needed to complete the mission in order to get that crown. See, here's the thing, right? We have to pump the brakes, especially when it comes down to anointing players as being the best player of the league.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
For Kendrick Perkins of all people to be saying pump the brakes on a young superstar, it's the funniest thing I've heard all postseason. As just a month ago, this dude was drooling over himself when it came to Anthony Edwards. He was calling him late 80s Jordan, the face of the NBA, the chosen one, and even said he was better than Luka Doncic after 2 semi-dominant playoff rounds.
The best player in the series? Luka.
No, it's not. It's Anthony Edwards. We have to pump the brakes.
What are you seeing from Anthony Edwards?
I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing the 89 version of Michael Jordan. We have to pump the brakes. But what we're really watching right now is the future face of the NBA.
Isn't that kind of funny how that works? For Luka Doncic, 5 straight first-team All-NBAs, he's made the West Finals twice, the NBA Finals once, but you know, pump the brakes on Luka. And even more embarrassing for Perkins in those clips is how badly Luka Doncic beat the Timberwolves down and really upset them. As coming into that West Finals, the T-Wolves, they were basically ESPN's team, they were America's team, and everyone's rooting for them to win and go on to the finals versus Boston. But of course, Luka in that series being the better overall player, the more impactful player, dominated Edward, Jaden McDaniels, and the entire T-Wolves team.
Gobert's out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it!
In French, in France, we say it as merci beaucoup.
I mean, that West Finals, Minnesota versus Dallas, it was ultimate humbling for Kendrick Perkins. And looking at Edwards specifically, and really any superstar 25 and under, if they make the West Finals, the East Finals, or even the NBA Finals, they're way ahead of schedule and deserve tons of praise for getting their team to that point. But for Edwards, where it goes overboard is saying he's MJ 2.0 and better than Luka Doncic. So in the words of Perkins, pump the brakes.
When it comes down to being the best player in the league, what these finals have shown us is that it's two sides of the basketball. And I get it. Luka Doncic led the league in scoring this year, right? I get it, what he's been doing offensively in this postseason. But what has been poking out badly is the other side of the basketball.
So stopping right there, Perkins' overall message of saying defense does matter and should be a major factor in who's the best player in the league, I don't really disagree with. But the problem is the guy saying this is Kendrick Perkins. And if you know Perkins' history valuing defense, it kind of comes and goes depending on players he likes and players he doesn't. You know, when it's Giannis versus Steph, Kobe versus Steph, defense really doesn't matter and kind of takes a back seat.
You want Kobe, 9-time all defense? What do you want Curry in your backcourt? You take one or the other. Which one are you taking?
I'm taking Curry.
What do you think, Perk?
I can't argue with him. Steph Curry is the best basketball player in the world. I mean, look.
Now, Perkins, of course, is a dunce, an idiot, and a terrible quote-unquote NBA analyst. But the biggest problem with Perkins, he moves the goalposts and the standards from player to player and debate to debate. And if we're going to be 100% honest right here, in today's modern-day NBA, defense versus offense, it's kind of a 35-65 split in favor of the offense. Of course, defense still matters a lot for teams, but for individual players, they're more offensively focused and offensively driven. And one of the oldest sayings in the NBA is that great offense beats great defense. And for Luka specifically in this era, that's 1000% true. I mean, look at his last 10 playoff games versus the Thunder, T-Wolves, and the Celtics. 31 points per game, 9 boards, 7 assists, on 48% shooting. Very few players can put up those numbers during the regular season, let alone in a deep playoff run versus great defenses. As of course OKC, the 4th best defense, Boston the 3rd, and Minnesota ranked 1st overall. The reason I'd say Luka at this point is a top 2 player, pending the Greek Freak's injury, is that offensively, he can dominate, change games, and change series.
And when you're the best player in the world, you have to get it done on both ends. He haven't even been the best player in this series. That's been Jaylen Brown. Okay, even when Luka is averaging, come out of a game having 33, 11, and 11, Jaylen Brown still have the better impact on the game.
So stopping Perkins right there, Jaylen Brown in this year's finals, definitively, objectively, numbers eye test, has not been better than Luka Doncic. The better defender? Of course by a mile. Better overall player? Not even close. And when looking at the 24 finals, it's one of those rare series where it's clearly 2 great players versus a great team. I mean, it's not 2018 Warriors, 2018 Cavs bad, but it is very clearly a great team versus 2 great players. And looking at Luka specifically, for 25-year-olds to make the finals and win the championship, outside of guys like Magic, Kareem, Russell, Bird, it really doesn't happen. And looking at modern day examples of guys who've made the finals, lost, or won without multiple all-star teammates, there's really only 4 guys who fit that bill. KD in 2012, LeBron in 07, Wade in 06, and Duncan 1999. What we've seen from Luka in this year's playoffs is nothing short of historic. And win or lose this finals, it's still a massive win for the Mavericks team and the organization as a whole. As once again, nobody thought a 5th seed Dallas team would be at this point in the season. And contrary to what big brain Kendrick Perkins thinks, Luka's playing these finals, it hasn't raised his stock or lowered it. He's kind of been typical Luka, some great halves, great quarters, but 30 points per game, it's what you expect. So that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.